Welcome to 2 Minute Tech Tuesdays, the weekly show about Varnish technology presented to you in 2 minutes or less. My name is Thijs, technical evangelist at Varnish Software, and this week's episode is about Docker, and more specifically on how to run the official Varnish Docker image. So I'm going to put 2 minutes on the timer and tell you all about it. Docker is an open platform for developing, shipping, and running applications. It's pretty much containerization technology that leverages Linux containers behind the scenes. The benefits of using Docker is the fact that it's extremely lightweight and fast to deploy, and allows for portable application stacks that are built for automation and orchestration. And by doing this, multiple workloads on a single server are supported, which are ideal if you're running a microservices architecture. And as a matter of fact, there's an official Varnish cache image up on the Docker Hub, which allows you to run Varnish quite easily. The way this works is when you call docker run Varnish to run a Varnish container, the Varnish image is pulled off the Docker Hub and a container is created. The necessary customizations are applied, and in the end, that container is run on a server. So it's pretty much running docker run Varnish as a minimum, but as you might expect, there's a lot more to it. In this example, we're using the -v parameter to define a bind mount, where the default.vcl file in the present working directory of my host system is mounted into etc varnish default VCL of the container with read-only permissions. The --tmpfs parameter allows us to load var lib varnish into tmpfs, which is a memory-based file system, which is a lot faster, and we do this with execution permissions. We name this container my Varnish container, and we perform port forwarding through the -p parameter and actually forward port 80 from the container onto port 80 of our host system. Environment variables can be set with the -e parameter, which allows us to set the size of the cache to 2 GB. And the specific version of Varnish that we're running is represented by the stable tag, and this represents Varnish cache 6.0 LTS. We can orchestrate the entire process and bootstrap multiple containers using the docker compose command. This depends on the docker-compose YAML file, which contains the container definition. This YAML file defines 2 containers. On the one hand, we have Varnish with all of its parameters, and on the other hand, we have an HTTPD container, which is Apache's HTTPD web server that Varnish proxies to. That was Varnish on Docker. Very popular technology these days, and with that I mean that the Docker stack as such is omnipresent in our industry and forms the foundation of many technological innovations. One example is Kubernetes. It's also a facilitator for microservice architectures, but I also mean that our official Varnish cache image also has become quite popular. We noticed that it's been downloaded more than 5 million times, so thank you to those who have used it. We'll continue to invest in it, and I would like to thank you for watching this video, and I'll be seeing you next week with yet another video presented to you in 2 minutes or less.